In this video, we're going to test the loot and XP we received from doing the brand new Giants Foundry activity for 1 hour. I'm currently 75 smithing, and we're going to be using myth and steel as our materials for this 1 hour attempt. Each sword will cost me roughly 13k GP to make. And I do want to preface, this is day 1, so obviously there's going to be more efficient routes that come out and the most efficient way to go about doing things in the Foundry. And the best materials and weapons. Obviously there's going to be a specific way to go about doing things that are the most cost efficient or the most XP efficient. But while we currently don't know any of those methods right now, today's video is purely just going to gauge what kind of XP we can get making more medium tier weapons. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start the clock. A couple things to keep in mind when you are doing this activity. For the green area, you do want to start on the higher end of the temperature gauge because it does drop as you continue to use the polishing wheel. And then for the grindstone, which is the yellow area, you want to start more towards the lower end of the temperature. And then finally for the trip hammer, which is the red, you want to be on the higher end once again. So it's high end, low end, and then high end with the red. And another thing I would keep track of is how close you get to the edges of your temperature areas. Because as you notice right there, I dropped out of the green temperature and now it's no longer highlighted white. And depending on which swords you're making, there are more room for error the lower the quality of the sword. But anytime you are working outside of a highlighted area, you are damaging your final product, which will hurt your results. And then one final thing to keep in mind is there is 2 options on the lava pool and the waterfall. One, you can just do the left click, which is a little slower method, or you can right click to dunk it / quench it, and it will just rapidly speed it through your temperatures. If you do have to drop, for instance, from like a red all the way to a green, that would be the easiest way to do it, is just to right click to speed it up. And the 1 hour just expired and we just finished our final sword. Go ahead and hand this last one in, see what we get. 7.9k and 15.8k GP. If you did notice, I did mess that one up a little bit. There was a little red in that final completion, so I did lose out on some XP and GP there. And total in that 1 hour, we were able to complete 10 swords. As you just saw by that last one, I did mess up a few times. Realistically, it was very easy to get sidetracked sometimes and just barely fall out of the zone and then take some damage on your reputation quality. I probably could have made more than 10 swords, but another way I hurt my efficiency was that sometimes I would have to consistently keep running back and forth because I'd either go too far past a zone or I would completely forget which side to start on which color. Like for example, for the green, you want to start on the high side because you'll drop. Sometimes I'd accidentally start on the low, so then you drop straight out of the zone and hurt your quality and then have to run all the way back up to the lava to even restart it. So unfortunately there were some personal errors, but those are also to be expected for day 1. But in total we made 10 swords with an average time of about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And we received a total of 85k smithing XP. And we also got 163k GP. And if we go ahead and pull up our cost, our total cost for that 1 hour was 135k. So we gained 85k smithing XP and profited almost 30k GP. And if we go ahead and open up the shop, we also got 951 Foundry reputation. So we are able to afford a few different of the rewards, some of the big ones being these molds down here, which will drastically change your XP and total reputation you receive back. These rewards are one way your efficiency will drastically go up the more you play the minigame / activity, because you are going to be able to get better molds that give you better rewards and better XP. But with that, that's everything I wanted to include in today's video. If you guys did enjoy, consider dropping a like. Overall, I'm a pretty big fan of this new activity. Don't know if I'm going to be doing it much myself personally. I feel like even though it's not very click intensive, you do have to pay quite a bit of attention, and if you don't, it's very easy to mess up. At the same time, I think I'd rather mess up at Blast Furnace just getting way better XP. With that, if you guys did enjoy the video, consider dropping a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.